So all love, there exists a divine plan, perfectly orchestrated, unfolding beyond what your senses perceive. The love you desire, the union you long for, is not a matter of chance. It is already written. God is speaking to you, revealing through signs, dreams, and inner convictions that until you both are together as spouses, certain things in your life will remain incomplete. But do not mistake delay for denial. Every seeming obstacle is merely the outer world reshaping itself to match the assumption you hold within. The moment you accept your union as real in imagination, the bridge of events begins to form, guiding you to the inevitable fulfillment of what is already yours. There exists a divine blueprint, a plan so precise and intricately woven that no force in existence can disrupt its unfolding. You may think your desires are random, your longings mere fleeting emotions, but I tell you they are whispers from the infinite intelligence that governs all things. The love you seek, the union you envision, is not an idle wish. It is a call from the divine itself, an echo of a reality already set in motion. Before the foundation of the world, before time itself began its relentless march, your path was determined, and your union was written into the fabric of eternity. It is not a question of if, but when, and even the when is only a matter of your acceptance. God is saying to you, until you both are together as spouses, these things will remain as they are. What does this mean? It means that certain aspects of your life, certain unanswered prayers, certain yearnings that seem to elude fulfillment are not denials, but delays. They are waiting for alignment, waiting for the divine order to unfold in its perfect time. But understand this, time itself is an illusion. The only moment that ever truly exists is now. And within this moment, you have been given the greatest gift, the power of imagination, the ability to assume the reality of your desire before the senses confirm it. Take complete control. Take complete confidence. Take complete gift. You may look around and see separation, distance, obstacles, and delays, but do not be deceived by appearances. The outer world is nothing but a reflection of the state you occupy within. If you persist in the feeling of lack, if you dwell in the state of waiting, then the world will mirror that back to you. But if you dare to believe, if you step into the knowing that your union is already decreed, already fulfilled in the unseen, then the world must bend to match that assumption. The divine blueprint is not altered by doubt, nor is it erased by fear. It remains intact, waiting for you to align with it. Consider this. The very desire for union was placed within you by God. And God does not place a desire within the heart without also providing the means for its fulfillment. But he does not work in the way the world expects. The world tells you to strive, to chase, to manipulate circumstances, to beg and plead. But this is not the way of divine creation. God's way is effortless. His way is to rest in the knowing that what is yours can never be taken from you. And if it appears distant now, it is only because you are being prepared, refined, shaped into the version of yourself that is ready to receive the blessing in its fullest expression. You do not need to search outwardly for signs. The greatest sign is already within you. That longing, that deep inner conviction is the evidence of things unseen. Trust it. Do not let the world convince you that time is running out, that obstacles are too great, or that what you seek is impossible. The impossible is only the unaccepted. The moment you accept it as real within, the bridge of incidents begins to form. Events will unfold in ways you could never have orchestrated. People will come into your life. Doors will open. Situations will rearrange. And when you look back, you will see that everything, the delays, the challenges, the unanswered prayers, was merely the preparation for the fulfillment. You are not waiting on God. God is waiting on you, waiting for you to accept what he has already given, waiting for you to trust the blueprint he has designed, waiting for you to stop looking at circumstances and instead look within, where the kingdom of heaven resides. Your union is inevitable, your destiny is sure, and the moment you embrace it, as already done, the world will move in ways you never imagined to bring it into visible form. The law of assumption is the key that unlocks every door, the force that bridges the unseen with the seen, the eternal with the temporal. It is not a passive wish, not a fleeting hope. It is the conscious act of claiming what is already yours. God does not withhold, he has already given. But until you assume the reality of your union, until you accept it as done within, the world outside will continue to reflect separation. Your task is not to chase, not to force, not to strive. Your only task is to believe, to enter the state of the wish fulfilled, and to dwell there as though it were already true. You must understand that your external world is nothing but a shadow, a reflection of the state you habitually occupy within. If you see delay, it is because within you are dwelling in the state of waiting. If you feel separation, it is because you have assumed it to be real. This is the law. It does not fail. It does not work for some and not for others. It is as precise as gravity, as unfailing as the rising of the sun. What does it mean to assume? It means to step beyond the senses, beyond logic, beyond appearances, and to enter fully into the feeling of the wish fulfilled, to walk through life as though you are already married, already united with your beloved, not in pretense, not in mere daydreaming, but in the deep conviction that what you seek is already accomplished. Your mind may protest, the world may show you otherwise, but none of it matters. The only truth is the one you accept within. The only reality is the one you claim in imagination. Many fall into the trap of waiting, waiting for a sign, waiting for movement, waiting for something outside of them to shift before they believe. But that is not how creation works. The world outside does not move first. You do. The change must happen in consciousness first, and then the world will follow. This is why so many struggle, why they pray without seeing results, why they seek endlessly without finding. They are waiting for proof before they believe. But faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith does not require proof. It creates proof. Your assumption, once firmly held, will begin to solidify into fact. You will notice changes, small at first, perhaps a shift in energy, a moment of deep inner peace, a sense of certainty where doubt once stood. And then the outer world will begin to move. People will say things that affirm your inner state. Opportunities will arise where there were none. Circumstances will bend in ways you could not have orchestrated. And when the final moment comes, when your union is made manifest, you will realize that it was never about chance, never about external forces, but always about the assumption you dared to hold within. God is not asking you to struggle, to strive, to prove yourself worthy. He is asking you to believe, to step into the reality He has already created for you, to walk by faith, not by sight. Every great manifestation follows this law. Every answered prayer, every fulfilled desire, every miracle, it all begins within. The law of assumption is the divine principle that turns the unseen into the seen, and the moment you embrace it, your world will begin to shift. You're not in some distant future, not after years of effort, but now, in this very moment, as you accept your desire as already fulfilled. The time is always now, for creation is finished, and what you seek is already yours. Resistance is an illusion. The obstacles you see, the delays you perceive, the struggles you feel, none of them are real in the absolute sense. They're only shadows cast by an old state of being, remnants of a reality you have not yet fully abandoned. The moment you step into the knowing that your union is already decreed, these obstacles will dissolve like mist before the rising sun. God is not withholding from you, nor is the universe working against you. God is in you for the rising sun. God, everything that seems to stand in your way is merely the outpicturing of doubt, fear, and past assumptions that have yet to be fully released. It is easy to become discouraged when circumstances do not align with your desire. You may look around and see separation, silence, or even conflict. You may question why things are not happening as quickly as you wish, why there are delays when your heart longs for immediate fulfillment. But I tell you, there are no delays in divine order. Everything is unfolding exactly as it must, precisely according to the assumptions you have held within. If resistance appears, it is only the world reshaping itself, adjusting to accommodate the new reality you are assuming. The moment you fully accept your union as an accomplished fact, everything will move effortlessly to align with that truth. Many believe they must struggle to receive what they desire, that they must overcome great opposition, that they must prove their worth before they can be granted their heart's desire. But this is the lie of the world, the illusion of effort and striving. God's plan does not require struggle. It requires surrender. Not surrender to circumstances, but surrender to the inner knowing that what is yours can never be lost. The only battle is the one within, the battle against doubt, against fear, against the old belief that says things must be hard. But once you release these illusions, you will see that nothing was ever truly blocking you. The only thing that ever delayed your manifestation was the assumption that it had not yet happened. The bridge of events that leads to your union may not always appear as you expect. Sometimes what seems like a setback is actually a step forward. What looks like rejection is often divine redirection. Do not judge the process by a single moment. Trust that every twist and turn, every unexpected event, is part of a perfect orchestration leading you exactly where you are meant to be. Even in moments of seeming stillness, movement is happening beneath the surface. Just as the seed must remain hidden in the soil before it bursts forth into life, so too must your desire take root in the unseen before it emerges into visible form. Do not fear resistance, for it is nothing more than an echo of the past, a reflection of a state that is fading. Instead, persist in your assumption. See beyond appearances. When doubt whispers that things are not working, reaffirm that they are. When fear tells you that time is running out, remind yourself that time is an illusion. When circumstances appear to contradict your desire, know that they are merely adjusting to reflect your new state. You should speak the truth to only you. You are magnificent. You do not need to push, to force, or to struggle. Simply assume the feeling of already being united with your beloved and persist in that assumption. The world is not separate from you. It is the mirror of your consciousness. And the moment you shift internally, the world must shift to match. Resistance is not real. It is only the remnant of an old belief system. And the moment you stop feeding it with your attention, it will vanish. What you seek is already seeking you. What you desire is already yours. The only thing standing in the way is the belief that something stands in the way. Let go of that illusion and watch as your world transforms before your eyes. God is already speaking to you long before your mind grasped the idea of this union, before you ever considered it as a possibility. The message was being whispered to your soul. Every longing you feel, every deep conviction within you is not random. It is divine guidance. The path has already been prepared, the way already made. And yet, in moments of doubt, you look for reassurance, for confirmation that what you desire is truly meant for you. This is a decision. As you stand in the glow of the Mediterranean sun, I see the spectacle of an unwitted love that you desire is truly meant for you. And so God, in his infinite wisdom, places signs before you, aligning your reality with glimpses of what is to come. Have you not noticed how certain patterns repeat, how certain numbers, names, or places keep appearing? Have you not felt the unshakable knowing deep within that this person is meant to be in your life? These are not coincidences. There are no coincidences in a universe governed by divine order. Every moment of déjà vu, every instance of synchronicity is the echo of an event that has already occurred in the unseen, now making its way into your reality. Everything determines a certain predilection that is intentional. The dreams you have, the sudden thoughts that arise unbidden, the songs that play at just the right moment, these are all messages, confirmations that your union is not just a desire, but a certainty. But the mind, conditioned by the world, seeks logic, reasoning, and tangible proof before it dares to believe. It looks outward, waiting for the physical to validate the unseen. Yet that is not how faith operates. The signs are not given to convince you. They are given as a reflection of your inner state. The more you align with the reality of your union, the more signs will appear. They are not leading you, they are responding to you. When you shift internally, the world shifts to match. You may wonder why, despite these signs, things still seem delayed, why movement appears slow. But consider this. When a tree begins to grow, you do not see the roots expanding beneath the earth, yet they are. Just because you do not see visible movement does not mean nothing is happening. The signs are the first indicators that the unseen has begun its journey into form. They are the whispers of what is to come, the previews of the reality that is unfolding. The reality. Yet, some fall into the trap of chasing signs, constantly seeking external reassurance rather than standing firm in faith. This is not necessary. The sign is not the proof. The proof is within you. The moment you require a sign to believe, you place yourself in the state of waiting, of uncertainty. And in doing so, you delay the very thing you seek. Instead, receive the signs with gratitude, acknowledge them as evidence of your alignment, and then return to your assumption of the wish fulfilled. Do not ask for more proof. Live in the knowing that the greatest proof is the conviction already within you. God is not distant, nor is he silent. He is always speaking, always guiding, always revealing. He speaks through intuition, through the quiet pool of your soul, through the deep certainty that refuses to leave you. Even in moments of doubt, when the world seems unchanged, listen inwardly. The message has never changed. What you desire is already yours. The only question is whether you will trust what you know within or be swayed by what you see without. Signs will continue to appear, not because you need them, but because they are natural confirmations of a reality already set in motion. But the real transformation happens when you no longer need them to believe, when you know without question that God has already answered, already fulfilled, already made a way. The moment you step into that knowing, the journey is complete, and what was once unseen becomes undeniable, manifest, and real. Living in the end is the secret, the key to unlocking every desire, the bridge that collapses time and brings the unseen into form. It is not merely wishing, not hoping, not waiting. It is the conscious act of assuming here and now that what you desire is already yours. You do not look for it. You do not question when it will come. You do not wonder how it will happen. You dwell in the feeling of its fulfillment. And by doing so, you make it real. The moment you fully embrace this state, the world begins to move, circumstances shift, and what was once invisible takes shape before your eyes. God is saying to you, until you both are together as spouses, these things will remain as they are. But that does not mean you are to wait idly, hoping for something outside of you to change. No, you must step into the reality of your union now, not in the future, not when the world confirms it, but now. Because creation is finished, the moment the desire was placed within you, the fulfillment of that desire was also established. Your task is not to create it, it is to accept it, to live from it, not toward it. What does it mean to live in the end? It means that every thought, every action, every emotion flows from the knowing that your desire is already accomplished. You do not question, you do not doubt, you do not let the outer world dictate your inner state. If you truly believed you were already united with your beloved, how would you feel? How would you think? How would you walk through life? That feeling, that state of being, is what must dominate your consciousness. You must occupy it so fully that it becomes more real to you than the world of the senses. Many falter because they live in a state of waiting. They affirm their desire, they pray for their union, but in their hearts, they are still hoping instead of knowing. They still look to the outside world for confirmation, and when they do not see movement, they waver, they question, they shift back into doubt. For the world does not move first. You do. The shift must happen within before it can manifest. You do not wait for the evidence, you become the evidence. This is where most fail, for they do not persist in the assumption. They entertain it briefly, but then they look at their reality and abandon it. They let circumstances dictate their faith instead of allowing faith to dictate their circumstances. But God's law is unwavering. What you assume to be true, if persisted in, must become your reality. The world is a mirror, reflecting back only what you consistently occupy in consciousness. If you see lack, if you see separation, it is because you have accepted it as real. The moment you assume union, the moment you dwell in the certainty of your togetherness, the mirror must reflect that truth. This is not imagination in the sense of fantasy. It is the highest form of reality. The unseen is more real than the seen, for everything that is visible now was once invisible. The house you live in, the chair you sit on, the technology you use, none of it existed until it was first conceived in thought. So too with your union. It exists now in the unseen. And the more you align with it, the more it will crystallize into form. It is received not by mortals, it is received not by. So live in the end. Walk in the joy of fulfillment. Carry yourself as one who is already in possession of what you seek. Let your thoughts, your words, your emotions reflect the truth that your desire is already accomplished. Do not wait for the world to change. Change your world from within, and the outer world must follow. This is the law, the promise. and the certainty of creation.